So UFC 298 has wrapped up, well, actually a couple hours ago now, but we had the first fight. I'm just going to break down every single fight that was on the card. So we had the first fight of the night, which was Miranda Maverick versus Andrea Lee. Miranda Maverick gets a pretty dominant performance. Andrea Lee just didn't have anything for Miranda Maverick in this fight. She got her body kicked apart. She was doing really well with her takedown defense, and she actually got a few takedowns herself. She just picked up Miranda Maverick and ragdolled her a little bit in the first round. But, you know, Jesus Christ. Miranda Maverick goes in there, lands a lot of big shots. She looks very sloppy, but that's just women's MMA. But she gets it done. Good for Miranda Maverick. I picked her to win, and she got a really good performance over Andrea Lee. And Andrea Lee's like a pretty good fighter for that weight class, so that was a good performance by Miranda Maverick. Then we had Oban Elliott versus Val Woodburn. Val Woodburn is not very good. I think we knew this for a while, but he's a bit fucking awful, let's be real. He's just not a very good guy when it comes to the UFC. Now, but maybe, who knows, maybe Oban Elliott's just that good, you know. Oban Elliott had multiple times in this fight where he could have got a finish, but he sort of screwed himself over. He kept going for rear naked choke attempts, which were actually fucking himself over quite a lot. Like, he really shot himself in the foot quite a lot in this fight, which was not good to see for him. So I think he could have got him out of there in that first round. He had him flattened out, landing big shot after big shot, and then he would just go for neck crank attempt, because, you know, Val Woodburn doesn't actually have a neck to choke. He's just got a really, you know, you can only neck crank him. But even then, he doesn't really, you know, it's just a guy you can't fucking choke. Let's just say that. You know, the guy doesn't have a fucking neck, so you can't get neck cranks on him. You can't get rear naked chokes on the bloke. He's just unfucking chokeable. I don't know why he kept doing it. He should have just flattened the cunt out and fucking boom, 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 boom. Oh, because like he was so close to getting a fucking stoppage, but then he would just stop and keep going for a submission attempt. So I hate when people do that. But outside of that, it was a good performance by Oban Elliott. He did get dropped by Val Woodburn in the beginning, which is something I've said about Oban Elliott. His striking defense is very worrying, and I don't know how good you can say his chin is. He gets dropped a lot, but that could just be his striking defense. But yeah, crazy to see. Oban Elliott gets it done. Multiple times he could have got a finish here, but he did sort of shoot himself in the foot. But he looked good, but it is Val Woodburn. Then we had Josh Quinlan versus Danny Barlow. This was a crazy good fight. I know he doesn't look like the greatest technical strike or anything like that, but Danny Barlow did impress me in this fight. He showed, like, his cardio is pretty decent, right? Like, he was fighting at a high pace and he wasn't really slowing down too much. His power is crazy. He's got a good long reach for that weight class. Like, I think this guy can win quite a few fights. His style is a bit odd, but he showed good takedown defense when Quinlan did shoot. He's very powerful, like I say. That was like a piston. Fucking every time he was landing up on Quinlan, he was hurting him. I think Danny Barlow can win some fights. I want to see him versus Chaos Williams next. I think that'd be a good one. And yeah, knocking out Joshua Quinlan is cool, because I mean, Quinlan's never been knocked out before, so that was pretty impressive by Danny Barlow. And yeah, he was just winning that whole fight, dominating it, had a big reach advantage. 79-inch reach at welterweight is really impressive as well to have, so that's really good for him. Then we had Zhang Mingyang versus Bredson Ribeiro. Oh yeah, by the way, I got almost every fight in this card right except for 2, so I did really well for predictions, just putting that out there. But yeah, Zhang Mingyang versus Bredson Ribeiro was really interesting because Ribeiro was landing so many shots. He was like fucking outlanding, it felt like, but apparently not. That's weird. But he did land a lot of shots during the finish. But Ribeiro was landing a bunch of shots, and I think he punched Zhang in the eye. And Zhang was trying to, like, you know, stop. He thought it was an eye poke, but it was a clear punch to the eye, in my opinion. But while complaining, he just fucking lands a fucking absolute 1-2-3 combo, KOs Ribeiro like fucking brutally, and then hammer fists him about fucking 4 times as he's fucking out cold on the canvas, which was really cool. That was a really good fight. I was expecting a really fun fight between these two because these two had a fucking crazy face-off. And yeah, Bredson Ribeiro did get a fucking fluke he did get a fucking fluky KO against Bruno Lopez. Like, I think Lopez would beat Rivera most times out of 10, I'm just saying. But yeah, good performance. You're not going to get fucking Alex Pereira. He called out Alex Pereira. That's not going to happen. Firstly, because Alex Pereira is fighting Jamal Hill. And second, because that's your UFC debut, bro. You're not going to get a UFC title fight for your second fight. They're not that desperate for the Chinese market, I don't think. But still, good performance, and I'm excited to see what he can do next. Very hittable, though. Very hittable. I think he's going to get KO'd very soon. Then we had Rinya Nakamura versus Carlos Vera. Instead of Ryan Hall, he's Ryan Fall, because he was just throwing kicks and falling on his ass the whole time. Trains with Ryan Hall, fights exactly like Ryan Hall, but not as slick as Ryan Hall. Overall, good performance by Rinya Nakamura. Not a crazy good fight, man. This was a pretty boring fight. It was good with the positions and everything. Like, it was cool to see the sprawls and everything like that. But overall, Carlos Vera was just trying to survive that fight, man. It was sort of... I feel like Rinya could have got a finish there, but Carlos Vera was just trying to survive, like his fucking life depended on it, which is smart for him, but like... I don't know. Doesn't make for the best entertaining TV, but good performance for Rinya Nakamura. Interesting to see who he gets next. Maybe they rebook him against Brady Highstand, I'm not sure. Then we have Marcos Rodrigo. Jesus Christ, sorry. We have Marcos Rodrigo, I think that's how you say it. De Lima versus Junior Taffa. I picked Junior Taffa, very silly of me, I understand, but I thought he'd match up well with Marcos De Lima, but I did forget that De Lima, I just forgot that Junior Taffa did suffer with leg kicks in glory, so probably should have seen this coming. It was a bit of a predictable outcome, but I guess I let my bias get a little bit ahead of me. Just the two fights I got wrong with both with Aussies, so it just speaks to my bias a little bit. I apologise, guys. But good performance by Marcos. He should have been DQ'd for shooting on a one-day notice. Junior Taffa, in my opinion. Should have just boxed it like a man, but no, I understand it. A smart game plan by De Lima. Maybe you could do him versus Justin Taffa, the revenge of the fucking big brother or something like that in the future. But good performance by De Lima. Then we had Amanda Lemos, or as Joe Rogan kept calling her, Lemos. It's Lemos, I believe, but maybe Joe Rogan's correct and I'm wrong. But it was a good performance by Amanda Lemos. Landed some big shots on Dern, knocked her down a few times. It says once, but I think she knocked her down more than once. I don't know. It was a good performance by her. Fight went exactly how I thought it would. Mackenzie Dern doesn't have very good striking or striking defense. And she gets hit a lot. She gets drops, she gets hurt, she survived, she fought, she won. You absolutely didn't win, but you're hot, so I'll give you a, she's got that, she's sort of blondish, so maybe she's had a bit of a blondish moment. She's not even that blonde, to be honest. Her hair's brown, but still, she's a pretty woman. So she's probably not the smartest woman, so she did think she won, but you absolutely didn't win that Mackenzie Dern. But still, good performance. You fought tough. You looked very good out there. You always look good. But great performance. Then moving on, we had Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. Like I said, I picked Anthony Hernandez. He will not fuck off out of your face, man. This guy is just constantly under pressure. He will not leave you alone. And it's good. It's fucking good. He just kept fucking going in, shooting after takedown after takedown. And he eventually gets the takedown on Roman Kopylov, gets him down, and gets the submission. I don't know, I was half in the first round. I'm like, fuck, why did I pick Anthony Hernandez? Because Roman Kopylov is still fucking good. He is a very good striker. It's just I knew Anthony Hernandez was like a nightmare matchup for him, just because he's the one guy in that whole fucking division that actually shoots takedowns and has like cardio. Like every other grappler in that weight class is just a guy who shoots one takedown and they gas out and they get fucking broken against the fence. Anthony Hernandez can actually take people down and keep shooting. He is like a Colby Covington type guy, and he can box as well. So I thought that he would win this, and he did. But Roman Kopylov, I think Roman Kopylov can beat a lot of these strikes in that weight class. I'm just going to put that out there. He's a very good striker. But still, great performance by Anthony Hernandez. I don't really know how I see him beating at this point. I don't know if I really see him matching up well with any of these other guys. Like, do I see him matching up well with Hermanson? Not really. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe Anthony Hernandez has reached his ceiling, but his style could be tricky just because he is a fucking great wrestler and great cardio. So we'll have to see in the future what happens with Anthony Hernandez. Then we had Merab Devash's Wheelie versus Merab Devash's Wheelie versus Henry Cejudo. This was a good performance by Merab. He did get stung early in the fight where I was like thinking, fuck! Because I was thinking about picking Henry Cejudo, and I'm glad I didn't. But like, I was generally thinking like Cejudo could rock him, and he did. He rocked him with a really nice slick left hook. I think it was a left hook or a left straight, or so it was a left-handed shot. Let's just say that. And he really did badly rock Merab. It was very similar to when Marlon Moraes rocked him, but you know, he survived it. Merab survives it, comes back, wins the last 2 rounds, dominantly wins that second round as well. And his cardio is fucking crazy. Hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. They call him the machine for a reason. And you know, gets on, does his post-fight interview, calls for the fight. Dana White says that he's going to give Merab the next title shot. So it looks like Merab Devash's really versus the winner of Cejudo. Sorry, not Cejudo. The winner of O'Malley versus Vera is going to happen next. So that's a pretty cool fight. I just don't see how the fuck anyone beats this guy. Yeah, he got rocked by Cejudo, but if you don't chin this guy in the first fucking 10 seconds or whatever, you're not going to fucking beat him. He's just going to wrestle fuck you. So really good performance by Merab here. And he also said that Ilia Topuira was going to beat Volk. And, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Then we had Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. This fight, in my opinion, was much closer than the commentary are making it sound. They're making it sound like it was like fucking dead set an Ian Gary win. I think Ian Gary won, but I could have seen those first 2 rounds going to Jeff Neal. I really could have. I think he could have edged those first 2 rounds. It was one of those weird fights. It's one of those weird fights where like any fucking thing is happening in that fight where it could just go. It's like one of those fights where not much is happening, so it's really hard to like score. Like, where are you scoring it? It seemed like Jeff Neal landed a bunch of big shots on Ian Gary, and Ian Gary also landed a lot of knees. He was throwing out a lot of knees. Like fucking an insane amount of knees. Like Danny Barlow, I forgot to mention Danny Barlow was also throwing a lot of knees against Quinlan. But yeah, he was throwing a lot of knees, but nobody really got badly hurt. I think if anyone got hurt more, it was probably Ian Gary. I think he got hurt a bit with a straight shot, but nothing crazy. You know, it wasn't a really entertaining fight. It was pretty boring, if we're going to be honest. Like, it was a bit of a chess match, but not like a crazy good one. But still, Ian Gary gets the win. He calls for Colby Covington. I think he can beat Colby. But I don't know if he's going to get that fight. I think he might have reached his ceiling at this point. I feel like Ian Gary's probably reached his ceiling. I don't know if I see him beating much more guys at this point. Like, Jeff Neal was a good matchup for him, but I don't know if he's going to beat these other guys, if I'm going to be honest. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But still, good performance. He gets the win. Then moving up, we had Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. Robert Whittaker is not washed. I said it the whole time. The man's not washed. Dricus Duplessis is just that good. People need to start giving Dracus his fucking respect. The guy's just really good. Like, I know he doesn't look technically very good. I know he fights very spastically. But he is a very good fighter. He's a fucking great fighter, guys. You need to respect Dracus. He's going to dominate Israel Adesanya when they fight. It's going to happen. I guarantee you Dracus is going to beat Izzy. I'm so fucking freakishly confident that Dracus is going to go in there and destroy Izzy. I have no doubt in my mind. I think Dracus can beat a lot of these fucking guys, man. Like, because Rob is fucking good. And Rob beat Paulo Costa very clearly, in my opinion. I thought that was a clear win. I see people saying robbery. I don't know if they were joking or not. If they were just like Rob haters or Paulo Costa fans. But I thought that was a clear win to Rob. Maybe you could have... Obviously, the first round, you probably got to give it to Costa. But I can see the argument for giving it to Rob. Because, yeah, Costa did rock him towards the end of that fight. But before that, it was literally just Rob landing fucking big shot after big shot on him, landing on his chin, kicking up his leg, hurting his leg. So I can understand them giving out to Rob, but I think you're probably going to give it to Costa just off the overall damage. He was on the stanky leg, but he recovered really quickly. How good is Dricus Duplessis' fucking jab, I guess? How powerful is Dricus? But yeah, I said that Rob would win this. It was pretty obvious that Rob was going to win. But Costa looked really improved. He actually looked really good in this fight. That's the best we've seen Costa since the Izzy fight. So I want to see like Costa versus like Hermanson or Chris Curtis or something like that. I feel like there are some fights we can see Costa win. I want to see him be active. I think Costa needs to stay active. I want to see this guy fucking fight more often because I love watching Costa fight, man. Also shows that maybe he probably would have finished Luke Rockhold if they went at higher elevation. Don't ever book Paulo Costa in higher elevation ever again, please. Then we have the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski. Ilia Topuria did what he was going to say. He walked the walk, he talked the talk, and he walked the walk. He did everything he was going to say. Well, he didn't actually. He got in the second. I thought Volk won that first round. I thought that was a clear Volkanovski first round. Well, not clear. It was very competitive, but I thought Volk did a bit more. I liked that Volk was kicking up the leg. I liked the body attacks. I liked that he was kicking up top. That's everything you got to sort of do to beat an Ilia Topuria, but still wasn't enough. Volk goes in there, gets caught in the second round with a fucking mother of all shots. And the thing is, people are going to say that, well, Volk's done, Volk's chin's gone and all this stuff. Volk wouldn't have taken that shot even if he didn't get KO'd by Islam Makhachev. I'm pretty confident in saying that. That was a fucking bomb. That was right on the button. A shot he didn't see coming. Like, that was a picture-perfect strike. I don't think most people would be able to take that shot outside of like a Max Holloway. Like, that, it was freakishly good timing, precision, and just overall power. Like, that was the perfect combination to make the perfect punch. Like, that is literally the perfect punch he landed there. Yeah, Ilia gets it done. Ilia is the champion. You called out Conor McGregor. You're not going to get fucking Conor McGregor. That's absolutely not happening. McGregor's not going to fight you. First of all, he's not going to come down to featherweight. Secondly, he's fighting Chandler if he does fight ever again. And thirdly, you're going to have to rematch Volk more than likely, or fight Movsar Evloev if we can go get them big money fights. But I like the enthusiasm. But yeah, Jesus Christ, Volk loses. Unfortunate as a Volk fan, but respect to Ilia Topuria. You have a new featherweight champion. It'll be interesting to see what his reign at the top looks like. I think he's going to hold that belt for a while, man. I don't think Volk beats him in a rematch. As much as I love Volk, he was looking good in the first round. The fact he's chinned him once just means he's going to be more susceptible to getting chinned again, which is not going to be fucking good. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this card. I thought it was overall a really good card. Like, generally, this was fucking better than all them fight nights we've had. Like, it was generally bringing back my love of the fights. It was generally a fucking crazy fight night. Jesus Christ. Crazy day of fights, I should say, because I'm in Australia, but still. Yeah, good card. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Peace.